Hello everybody, give me 1 second here. This is just impromptu. This was not planned, obviously. Just getting my computer up and running. Oh, hey, Can Mac Project, cool. Hey, JC's here. Wow, this is just I'm just gonna pretty much do a pretty quick one here. It's been kind of a, you guys saw, if you saw the sunrise this morning, the sun is now disappeared, just so everybody knows. You know, there's these wild speculation. I'm still hearing mostly ice, then I'm hearing 6 inches, then somebody told me it could be 12 to 18. So I'm just figuring I'm gonna get anything from 0 to 24 with ice. So, I mean, it is what it is. When it comes in, it comes in. I mean, I've lived in it for 41 years up north, so I'm not hey Janet, I'm not worried about it. You know, nobody wants to live through it, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, in a 365-day year, Oklahoma gets maybe at most a week of that kind of weather. I actually look less forward to the tornado season, so I just hope the storm season doesn't, this snowstorm, if it does occur, doesn't go on for too long, because I got my decorations out for my snowstorm decorations, and I just, you know, I don't want to have to leave them out for too long if this continues on, because then they're going to run into when I got to put up my tornado weather, you know, decorations and all that stuff. Prep cooking for the storm. Moments with, good, hunkering down since hubby works at home. That's awesome. Yeah, if you can do that. I just wanted to, I got a couple cool things I just wanted to share with everybody that happened today. After the live, I had my doctor's appointment today. It's just I do a yearly thing for my insurance. Everything was fine. You know, it's just the normal, you know, I'm 60, just about 60 years old. And it went so well that he told me that, Jason, he says, man, for 60 years old, you have the health and vitality of an 80-year-old guy. So I like, good, and I left. So, no parking signs up. Yeah, yep. Hey, Ebony Purdy. So anyways, so after the live this morning, I got all set up to go up there, got that taken care of, and I had grocery shopping to do, and the Albertsons up there had a sale on chicken again and some other stuff. So I just wanted to briefly show you guys some of that stuff. I'm not going to show you the chicken. I got the chickens already in the freezer. So is the ground beef. However, I did want to draw attention to, warning, mouth works faster than brain. I couldn't pass this shirt up. My wife told me that's pretty much me in a nutshell. You know, for 60 years, my mouth has worked faster than my brain. Anyways, with that said, so at Walmart, I'm always looking for different sauces, and I wanted to get some teriyaki sauce. And I went to, when I went to Wally World, I said, they're gonna have teriyaki sauce, because the one little place didn't have it. So I go to get teriyaki sauce. They only had one name brand there, and they wanted $7 for a little bottle. And I'm like, you know what? I can make my own teriyaki sauce. I'm not paying somebody $7 for a 6-ounce bottle. That's ridiculous. So next to that was Asian style sweet chili wing sauce. And I've already tasted this. This is really good. It's got just enough kick. It's just enough kick to, you know, let you know it's there. But it's got the chili taste to it. It's a little sweet, and it's really, really good. I'm gonna be using that in some of my dishes. Also, I always check their bread section. Now, I don't know what happened here. I'm the only one home, so somebody got into this bread, and when I find out who, there's gonna be trouble. But I love French bread. Ha ha ha! I love French bread. This was 78 cents. They make these loaves, and then when they get to their last day or two where they can sell them, they drop these down to 78 cents now. They used to drop them down to $1. Now these sell for 78 cents. You got to eat them in 2 days because they will mold in about the third or fourth day. They're still fresh. They're still good. They make great sub sandwiches. 78 cents. Hey, have fun in nature. And these rolls, these are like little mini hard rolls. Well, they're not mini. They're like hamburger rolls, the size of hamburger rolls. There's 8 in here. You know, they're typically $3.96 for this package. This package was $1.73. So again, they got to get rid of them because in 2 or 3 days, they're going to be going bad. And I already have hamburger out. We're going to be doing Sloppy Joes, and these make really great sandwiches also. And I got some deli meats and stuff on sale. So it just shows you, if you just look around, they got some really good deals out there. Yes, sometimes I throw them in the freezer if I get extra. I didn't have extra because I knew I was getting a bunch of meat and I was going to be storing the meat. I didn't want to take up room in the freezer with bread. So, with that said, the meat. So, Wally World had the hamburger on sale again this week for $3.97 for a pound, and you can get up to 10 pounds. So I bought 10 pounds. Lonely. Everybody knows on my channel we don't do drama. We don't do these leading questions onto politics and religion. We're not going to do that. So I am going to put you in a timeout. Guys, if you want to come here and honestly have fun and talk, don't come in with questions about that and try to stir stuff up. We don't do that. Yes, thank you. Have fun in nature. Hey, Sarah Happy Hives. Yeah, go check out Sarah Happy Hives. She's on my shout out here. She's got a really nice channel. And I was telling her, before I get back to my other story, I was telling her it was on in our area, they have the Facebook site for like sale, what is it, the Facebook Marketplace. And they post other news because this is a really small area. And this lady over here by about a mile from me, she does bees. And she's got her hives out in the fields. She's already had, she had some hives stole a couple of weeks ago. And then she ended up putting cameras out around where the beehives were. So they're actively trying to get the license plate number and all that. They stole 2 more hives. Somebody actually came along and took the beehives. Now, who does that kind of stuff? Yeah, I got my new shirt. Warning, mouth works faster than brain on Natty. So anyways, just to recap, I got my $1.73 rolls, which were $3.96 usually. And then I got my 78-cent, it was this long, I cut about 6 inches off for a sandwich earlier, like a 6-inch sub. And 78 cents. We slice this thin. And I toast it, and it's really good toasted. And then part of this is going to go in a dish I'm going to be doing next week for one of my cooking videos is stuffed shells, Italian stuffed shells. So, anyways, oh, no problem, Tiffany. Take your time. So I got that, and the meat I got the hamburger, the ground beef 85/15, because I like the fat in there. I do like the fat content because I do put that on my dog's food and stuff. And she does take a medication, and she won't eat the medication. So I put some of that on there, some bacon grease, and she eats the medication. So that's why. And I like the flavor anyways. So that's why I always make sure. I don't like the 95/5 or 90/10. I like to have a little bit of the fat for the flavor. Also, chicken. I was telling Natty earlier on her live. About once a month, Albertsons in this area puts their chicken on sale for $1.77 a pound for boneless, skinless chicken breast and boneless, skinless breasts and thighs. I am adding, giving a blue wrench to Sarah. So Sarah, oh, DC Outdoors, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I'm giving you guys a blue wrench so you guys can connect if you want to with others. And guys, go check these channels out. Like I said, Sarah, Happy Hives, she does the beekeeping and stuff. Really cool, interesting channel. Go check her out. Like everybody else, she's just trying to grow her channel, and it's a nice channel. And I like bees because I'm trying to get bees drawn in more here. Hey, Fairbricks, there's a couple new ones there. Sarah's Happy Hives and DC Outdoors. But hey, anybody can support them, go check them out. The ground pork beef blend from Walmart made a great burger. Yes, I'm sure it did. So what I want to do is the chicken. So if you remember, it was in August, my family had come down from upstate New York, and they brought me my great-grandfather's table. That is a video where I redid it. Hey, KP, and I redid it and then clear coated it, and it's in the back for my desk for my YouTube stuff. Well, when they also came down, they had some other stuff they brought, and me and my son like to do a lot of cooking. And they had 2 meat grinders. And when I say meat grinders, I'm talking the old meat grinders from back in like the 1910s and 20s. It's that cast piece there with the grinder, and you turn that grinder, and these things have the old handle on them. They're clean. She's used them. She used to use them for grinding pork because they used to raise pigs, chickens, and beef. So one of these days in the next week or two, I'm going to take a pound or two of the oh, no problem, Coach. I'm going to take a pound of the breast and a pound of the chicken thighs, the boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I'm going to grind them together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spice them up a couple different ways. One's going to be with like an Italian seasoning, so it'll be an Italian type chicken. And then the other one's going to have maybe a blend of maybe some Parmesan cheese in it, maybe some something else other than that. We're going to have some kind of, maybe there'll be some diced onion in there or something. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to freeze them, flash freeze them for just like 15-20 minutes so they get a little hard. Then I'm going to take them out, do the milk wash, flour, the egg wash, and then pop them in some seasoned panko. And then, hey, food. And then I'm going to air fry them. So they're going to be a crispy chicken, a crispy ground chicken, but they're going to be very flavorful because it's going to have the chicken breast, but it's also going to have the flavors of the dark and the light meat from and the fat content from the chicken thighs. So that's going to come up hopefully sometime next week. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do some stuffed shells next week. But anyways, and then like I said, so I spent total at 2 stores $120. So 34 of it was chicken, but I got 20 pounds at $1.77 a pound. And I spent it was $3.79 a pound, I think it was, for the ground beef. So it was 10 pounds, $37. So almost 40 plus 34. So $75 of the bill was meat. But now that meat's going to carry us into April. So I don't have to buy any more meat. Now I'm back to I just have to buy, milk and bread and then just other non-essential or essential things, but not have to worry about buying any meat. So that was the big outlay of money. So the rest of the month, my grocery bills will be $40, $30. They're not going to be bad. So just try to shop those, if you can shop those deals. If you want to see a good on how to do that and how she does it, go watch Natty Homemaker. She does that $5 pantry. She's got a couple different pantries set up, and she explains how she does those to try to be more frugal with her purchasing. And so does Terry McPherson from Frugal. She does a lot of stuff on how to buy frugally and how to live within a fixed budget for food. And hey, Dahomey Gaming. Quick story. I I had to fast because I had my yearly physical, whatever you want, what they call it, a wellness check. So they take the blood and they take urine and they check me out. And then they send the labs out, and then a week from now I'll get a thing in my mailbox that'll tell me all my blood information and all that. Never had a problem. My stuff usually comes back perfect. But you're supposed to fast the night before. So I'm like, well, I fast quite often. So what I'll do is I'll do the 16 or 18 hour fast or whatever they do. So I didn't eat last night. After 2 p.m. I didn't eat. So I'll tell you, by the time my doctor's appointment hit, I knew I was going to be hungry and I already had it planned out. Yes, you're going to laugh. I had to go to Taco Bell. Had to go to Taco Bell. I love me some Taco Bell. So I went in, ordered a bunch of stuff because I was super hungry, and they must have felt sorry for me or something because the way I was devouring my food, they must have thought I haven't eaten in like 2 weeks. But anyways, it was me in there, and there was a younger guy about 10 feet from me. And it was so funny. I look up from eating. I'm at a bench, and it's looking at the service counter. And hey, Rushing Wind Mountain, let me give you a Blue Ranch. Anyways, so I look up, and the lady behind the counter and one of the guys, the manager, something's back there, and they're looking at me, and they have these 2 tacos in their hand. And she comes over, she goes, "Sir," she walks around the corner to me, and she goes, "Sir, somebody just ordered tacos at the drive-thru. We made a mistake. They wanted the soft tacos. We made hard tacos. You can just have these for free if you want them." I'm like, yes. What a day. Good sales at the store. Doctor's office went well. I go to Taco Bell. I get 2 free tacos, and it's not even Tuesday. So I got my free tacos along with what else I was eating. And I was like, it was a banner day. It really was. Yeah, and I know not a lot of people, some people don't like Taco Bell, and I know it's not real authentic Mexican food, and but I just always loved Taco Bell. I've loved it since I was younger. I love it. And man, you put that what is it, the Crunch Wrap Supreme, a couple of soft tacos, then 2 free hard tacos, and I'm still full. So it was a really, really, really good day. So, and there's more. There's still a little bit more. Janet, you don't realize how fortunate you are to be able to have Taco Bell for dinner tonight. Fire sauce. I had the Diablo. They had the Diablo sauce. I've had all the other ones. I've never had the Diablo sauce, strings and pucks. So I got the Diablo sauce. It was really good. I already told this to Natty on her live, but I've been searching around online trying to get some merchandise, shirts, a hat, maybe a mug. And some of the sites are really kind of janky on trying to design the shirt. I already have the design, trying to place it on the shirt and then save this, and then you got to go back for something, so then you got to hit back, and then it restarts. And I went to a different site, tried theirs, and it just got to be a hassle. I was getting to the point where I was like, you know what? Let me talk to the people that are just up the road here that do it. They're a local business, a mom and pop shop. So I went up there and I did. So I sat down, I sent them the logo a couple days ago, crossed emails over the weekend. They were going to be there today. I wanted to get up there before they're probably going to shut down for the storm tomorrow. So I wanted to get up there, and I got up there and we're talking. So I just said, hey, the shirt, I want my logo that I sent you on the breast, like a breast, where the breast pocket would be. And I said, you guys designed where you want it the best for the breast pocket, because that's what they do. I said, I don't know how big it should be. I don't want it on the back. I want it here. Eventually, I'd like to have one on the back that says Okies Eden. If you see my banner, it's kind of like that. It's all the vegetables with those greens and yellows, so it looks like a garden, a good vegetable garden. Oh, you get hives from the food. So, talking through all that, I did get ordered 2 shirts, one for me, one for my wife. And then I said, hey, get me the hats up there, and can you put the logo on the hat, and can I get this hat in this color and this color? And they said, yes, no problem. So I have the 2 hats, one for me, one for my wife, and it's only just for trial, because I don't want to just put something up on a website, never try it, and then people are getting them and the strings are pulling out, or the stuff is pulling off and it wasn't done correctly. I want to make sure that the stuff is a quality product. I don't want somebody buying something with my logo on it and having it show up at their door garbage. Hey, Henhouse. So, yes, the canned mac. Yes, I agree. Sarah, I agree. Home cooking's better, but sometimes, like I said, I had already been to the grocery store and I fended off the urge to buy. They had some donuts there that looked really good from the bakery, and I was just gonna completely inhale, half dozen donuts, and I'm like, no, that's not good. I just got a good review from the doctor. I'm not gonna dump that much sugar into my system after leaving the doctor. So I decided to go dump a bunch of Taco Bell stuff in my system after seeing the doctor. But anyways, so I have 2 hats, and not thinking, I got the shirts. That's why I wanted to wear this. The shirts are gonna be, to start, are gonna be this color. It's a light gray. And then it'll have that colorful emblem, or my logo here. Hey, Foraging. And then I should have those, she said, in about a week or 2, because they gotta actually do the design work. They have the stuff, they gotta transfer it over, and then make the shirts, or put them on the shirts. And they're booked up. So she said a week or 2, I'll have them ready. They're all bought, paid for, boom. She gave me a really good price on when I do future orders. And then the hats, I got one that's gonna be like a charcoal gray, so it'll match the gray shirt. It'll have my Okies Eden emblem on the front. And then it'll match the attire. So one of these days on one of my lives, I'll show up just as a surprise and I'll have my Okies Eden shirt, my Okies Eden hat. And then we'll see what people think about it, if they like it, do it a little different, because I'm not gonna settle in on anything till I feel like it's a good product. Then, so I said to the girl that was doing the design stuff and talking to me, and I said, hey, I know I wanted 2, but can you do a purple hat, the same style for my wife? And she said, yeah, we got purple. So I have a gray for me, and my wife is gonna have the purple hat. So my wife will have a purple baseball cap with the Okies Eden logo. When that happens in a week or 2, when I do a live to show that, I'm hoping that's the time when she'll be comfortable enough to come in and just say hi to everybody. Because then you can see me, my wife, you can meet her, and then you can see her in an Okies Eden shirt and a purple Okies Eden hat. So, and the reason, if somebody's gonna ask, they're thinking, well, why didn't you buy a purple shirt? Because, a couple things. The colors would not, we looked at them on purple, it doesn't look good. It looked horrible. So putting all those colors on that purple, it did not look good, number 1. Number 2, we're trying vinyl. They got, what do they call the stitching? What do you call it when they stitch the words? Somebody knows, somebody will say it. And they have sublimation, where the colors are bled into the fabric in the pattern, and then they're actually inside the fabric. Kind of like with tie-dyeing, only it's a controlled tie-dye. Embroidery, thank you, Henhouse. They embroider, and then they also do the sublimation. Trying to sublimate colors onto a dark shirt like black, dark gray, dark blue, purple, doesn't work. She equated it to trying to put tie-dye on a black t-shirt. You can do it, you're just not gonna see it. So it wouldn't look right. Yep, embroidery. Yep. And then she did say, I did talk about embroidery. I said, I don't want to go that far yet because that's probably going to be more expensive. She goes, no, it's pretty much the same price. So with that said, I said, well, let's do the first set, see how they look, and then I'm going to show the audience over a couple streams and see what people think about it. And then do a poll if somebody thinks it would look better further out, up, down, different color, whatever. I can try to, we can make changes before I get some, because I'll probably buy a few, and then those will be items that I can give away as prizes in this coming year. Once I'm finished being fully monetized and everything's up and running, I want to have some merchandise things that I can send to somebody if I do like if I do a guessing game or some kind of trivia game or something, or just pick your name out of a hat or something one night, and then. But she's gonna show me a sample of it on stickers, and she's also going to do one other thing. What was it? She had one other thing she said that works really good for merchandise, and then yeah, very well priced now. And then I said to her, hey, Traveling Whitcombs. So now I don't know how it's gonna work for international, because some of the bigger companies, if you're in say you're in London, you can go on to the site that I would have on my my main page. Aprons would be great. Yes, they're going to be a possibility. Aprons can get quite expensive, and I'm trying to keep everything affordable for people. If so, I'd rather have them get a T-shirt they can afford. And yes, I would love to have an apron. I might make a couple just to have for myself for videos, and then I could sell them if somebody wanted to buy them. But I'd like to get my brand out there with stuff that. The hat, the shirts, things like that. But anyways, she said they are set up and they do, and I just said do, I know. Can't help it. That's my, teenage boy. I said do. But anyways, they do the shipping, handling the tax, and everything. So, it's a local company. They're not one of these big companies like Printful or what is it? Any of those big websites that do all that merchandise stuff. So if you're in London, if you go on to that, if you went onto my site and clicked on, and it would say it was Printful. Printful has some places that are closer over in Europe that you would actually get it shipped from, so shipping costs would be low. They're not international, so I don't know how that would look. So probably for now, it'll be a Canadian, US thing to keep the cost down until I can get an idea on how to do international with somebody else. But I'm trying to support companies that are in my town, like the coffee shop, this shirt shop. They gave me a good deal, and what they do is they'll collect everything. So what you would do is you would actually literally, I would put their website, you would click on their website, and it would literally say, my storefront would be there, it would say Okies Eden. You would click on Okies Eden, and I'm only gonna have like a shirt, a hat, and maybe a mug or something. And then you click on my site, my prices will be right there. And then you just click on your size, the color, whatever, and it'll have the emblem on the breast pocket, where the breast pocket would be the emblem. The hat will have it on the front. It's going to be one style of hat. So it's only going to be 2 or 3 choices, but I'm trying to keep it simple because some of these, YouTube has a storefront, yes. But the way she works hers is I would use her storefront, and then that would take you into mine. So, because we talked about all of that, and oh, rushing, you got to get hooked up there with Coach. Hey, local reviewer. But anyways, Natty's given me a lot of ideas and stuff the last few months on that kind of stuff, and how you got to get set up with taxes and a bank account and all that stuff when you get monetized. I'm still not there fully, I'm partially. So hopefully soon, next couple weeks, I'll be fully, and then I'll be ready to rock and roll. I'll start attaching things in there. By then I'll have my shirts on and all that. Goat soap will be made and sold. Yeah, there you go. So that's really the big news. I got all that stuff set up now, and I do have some merch coming in, and that's going to be used. That's stuff that I can send out very inexpensively to people, and that'll be coming up hopefully February, March type stuff, where I'll begin rolling all of that out. Just not good at sales, just design. There you go. That's cool, local reviewer. Yep, that's awesome. And I know the Can Mac Project does have it. They have their merchandise. And then, like I said, I'm going to have coffee. I got to talk to the lady that does the coffee. I got a couple places I've contacted about doing. I'll tell them what I like in a roast, and then they can grind it for me. And then if I can get the bags, or they can seal the bags, or I can have somebody else do it, then at the coffee shop, I hope to have them a coffee roast, Okies roast. And then it'll have my logo on it, and then each one can have a card on it for Okies Eden YouTube. And then I told people this morning, one of the things I want to do is at the coffee shop, starts up in February. She's had it running in a storefront, in a little restaurant front for about 3-4 months now. Very successful. And it's great because it's a city of 3,000, and it's very supportive of her. And I love small businesses. I think mom and pop coffee shops are the best. She's going to let my son put he does woodworking stuff, and he's going to put some merchandise in there, and then she'll collect consignment. There's people that are going to put other things in there, craft stuff, and then it'll kind of be like a coffee shop where you walk in and they got all the different gifts and wares you can buy and stuff. Anyways, so that's coming out next, and then what we're going to do is, she said she would let me interview her, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do a daily, for 5 days, I'm going to do 5 lives. I'm going to interview her, and then when I'm going to, hey J3G, I'm going to interview her the first day. She can talk about her business. I'll walk around the store, and then I'll watch her, I'll film her making my cappuccino. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my whiteboard or a pad of paper, or probably a pad of paper I can flip through during each day, and I'm going to drink it, and then I'm going to rate it 1 through 10. Oh, that's cool. Thank you, local reviewer. Oh, you just have the path tags. Okay, cool. So then each day I'm going to go in. One day I'm going to let her choose the drink I want to drink, that she wants me to drink. And then if there's somebody else in there, I'll let them choose my drink. And then if they're an adult and they want to come on the show real quick, and they can say what they ordered for me and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to make a kind of a big thing about it for 5 days. It'll be 5 separate videos, and it'll just be run every day. It'll probably be half an hour, 45-minute live. I'm talking to her, she's making my drink, I'm drinking it, we're talking, I'm rating it. And then I'll just take a pad of paper like this, and I would write a number on it, and I'd be like, okay, this one I give a 9. And then I'll flip the page over, the next day I'll do the next one. And by the end of the week, we'll see which ones I like the best. And it's not whether it's good or bad. It's not that the drink is good or bad by the rating. I'm rating it in the level that I like. So I like I said this morning, I like the caramel latte. That's my favorite latte if I get one. That's a 10 for me. So I would get the caramel latte during the week. That would be, of course, a 10. And then if I got one of the dirty sodas, she makes the dirty sodas. If you've ever had those, they're delicious. I would, I like them. They're not my favorite drink, but that might become a 7. Well, it's not that it's a bad drink. It's a delicious drink. It's just not my drink. I'm rating them in how I like them. Somebody else would like it to be a 10, where they wouldn't like my cappuccino or my latte. I'll get a latte, a cappuccino, an espresso, the red eye, all that kind of stuff. Americano. Dirty soda. Yeah, go to a coffee shop. That's a big thing now. What they do is they take some syrups, they take like a Dr. Pepper, and they take some other flavors, and then they maybe put a little coffee in it, and then they like mix it all up so it's a little frothy. And it's really, really good. They got different flavors, so you can get, Dr. Pepper. You can get a root beer dirty soda. Really good. It's just soda with some stuff added to it and then frothed up a little bit. They're good. I'm telling you, they are really, really good. Oh, Missy Cooking and More. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. She just sent me a gift. I don't even know what the gift means. I know what super chats are. I don't know what gifts are. I'll have to figure that out. I see it on my screen. I should research that. I'm happy to be monetized and stuff, but I haven't even really researched all of the I mean, I shouldn't say that, but I know they do memberships and other things. I just haven't really looked into them. But yeah. Uh-oh, what happened to Southern Fried? Got chickens loose. Oh, go get them. Just like Rocky, you got to go get them. If you can catch a chicken, you can catch Apollo Creed. Yeah. But yeah, so that's going to be the. So today was awesome. I can't believe I haven't had a day where kind of like everything went right. So I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm waiting for the failure. You know, losing power, water burst, pipe burst, or something over the next couple days. Because today was just like everything just fell into place. It was really cool. So that's why I just wanted to get on and talk about that. But it really excited me about the merchandise because I've been wanting to come on lives for a while that has my shirt and a hat on. Or if I'm working in the garden, I could have my hat on. Yeah, I do think positively. Sometimes, you know, it's just like you're waiting for the shoe to drop, you know. You get fully monetized today. I don't think so, Natty Homemaker. I'm too far away from that. Now, if I got a couple hundred hours, then yeah, I'd be monetized today. You know, I could be actually monetized because, you know, they have 5 hours behind me. It all depends on the average, you know, the watch time for the day. But not every day gets a video either. So some days have a video, you get watch time. Some days you don't get a watch time for that video, but you're still collecting watch time from your other videos. You watched my playlist. Oh, okay. Well, maybe. Okay, well, thank you, Natty. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really like that playlist. I gotta say, I hope they never take, I shouldn't say that. I hope they don't take those away because the playlists are, I mean, it's supporting your other channels and your community to be able to do that. And then what I try to do is, you know, after I run a playlist, I try to go back and hit a couple likes or something. I try to comment on maybe a couple, or I'll go on the first one and say, I'm running this playlist now, so on and so forth. But yeah, thank you, Natty. I appreciate that. Thank you, Henhouse. So we'll see. And like I said, I will let people know. I'll let people know, you know, because I'm gonna do a thank you because it's really about everybody helping you get over the hump. Creators just create the stuff. If you don't have subscribers and a solid community to watch the stuff, they would just sit there and you get 1 view, 2 views, 5 views. So 31 likes. Oh, wow. See, I don't usually, I have it up here on my phone, and then I have my computer right below me so I can, if I have to take somebody out, if somebody comes on and wants to be nasty. I know usually Natty's here. Natty usually shows them to the door. But anyways. That's great. I really appreciate that, everybody. And that's why, you know, I try to pay it forward too. And it really does come down to paying it forward, I think. Mr. Block is here. Because I know other people. And what I would recommend, this is just me. I'm done with all this fun stuff that happened to me today. But I did want to say one thing I was going to mention the other day and I just forgot. You're just 1 away from 1K. Oh, awesome. Broke but bountifully blessed. Carol, she's in my subscriber garden. If anybody that doesn't subscribe to her would like to go check her channel out, she's literally she's 1 subscriber away from 1,000 subscribers. So that's really cool. That's just another person in the community that we can try to get over the top. But what I wanted to say was, if somebody, Real Outdoor Living, I'll use it as an example, or Fairbricks, when they'll shout you out, they'll put you on a run list, and then if you look at your mentions up on your, when you look at your bell where you got your notifications, you see the little red number up there. If you click on that and you see all, then you see comments, and then you see mentions, and then like something else. But if you click on mentions every day, it'll say if you've been mentioned in somebody's video, either they mentioned your channel while talking, or they put your channel name in the description or something. And what I found is, oh, awesome. Hopefully, that's awesome. Hopefully broke but bountifully blessed hit 1,000. I guess she did. Somebody said congratulations. That's awesome. That kind of stuff is what keeps, I think, this community going, because you see others succeeding too. If you succeed, they succeed. I mean, honestly. But if somebody, like if Fairbrooks, say him or Real Outdoor Living, do a shout out for me, and then as I'm looking at their other shout outs, I'll check these other channels out and I'll say, hey, Real Outdoor Living did a shout out and I'm just here checking your channel out. And then later I'll go back, watch some more videos, comment again and say, hey, I'm following you from Real Outdoors. And it just lets them know that they're the people that are out there supporting them. And then they can always go back and say thank you, and they usually do. But then it lets everybody know who's supporting who. So if you find somebody on one of those shout out screens and you subscribe to them, just say, hey, Real Outdoor Living does a scroll where they flip 5 or 6 subscribers every couple days on who they subscribe to, and you can go check them out. So I always, do a snapshot of the ones I don't follow so I can go check them out. And then I just go into those channels and I said, hey, I saw you on Real Outdoor Living shout out. And then, new friend from Oklahoma, or I don't say, hey, I subbed here. I always say friend, or, saying hi from Southern Oklahoma through this. And then they know Real Outdoor Living shouted them out, or Fairbrooks shouted them out, or I shouted them out. And then it's just nice for them to know. And then it just keeps building the camaraderie of the community. Hold on one second. The beast wanted to come back inside. Our rescue dog had to come back inside. But anyways, so that's foraging hit 850. That's awesome. And again, I'm going to say this again in this community. Afterwards, if you go down in the comment after this is public, if you need subscribers, Strings and Pucks just passed 1,200 hours. Yes, you're getting there. Good, good. Go down in the comments, because I want everybody to be able to go in and see. So put it in the comment after. Just say if you're at 1,200 hours, if you're almost there. Say you're at 3,800 hours. I'll guarantee if I take it from there and I put a community post the next morning, hey, let's support this person and try to get them their hours or subs, you will gain some, and people will follow, because there's a lot of really faithful people here that will follow and get you hours. They've helped me immensely. I try to help them back as much as I can. Yes, Shannon, me too. It does. It really does. There's Grandma Teresa. Hey, Grandma Teresa. Grandma Teresa got monetized this year, so she knows something about monetization. She's been through it. The Groves, Bargum Emporium. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I've watched some of your channels. I think I said the other day I liked some of your stuff, so I'm going to... Oh, my dog is so loud. Now she's looking at me from the doorway, because I said my dog is so loud, like I said something evil. No check this month, not up to 100 this time. Okay. Well, we'll be watching. And yeah, like she said, it's got to be over $100 before you get that paycheck. It's your loud baby. So, yes, everybody get prepared. It's better to be prepared than not prepared. We are. I got some firewood. I got the fireplace. I got gas. I got our generator. I got little heaters that I can use for the generator. I have a bullet heater that hooks to my propane tank. I got a propane barbecue grill. I got a smoker. I got groceries today. plenty of water. I got water drawn in the tub in case you lose power, you can still flush toilets or whatever. So, I mean, we're as good as you can get as far as, you know, that's all we can do. But anyways, what is, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. Other than digging out or trying to stay safe, hey, down the road, what's everybody's plans for the weekend? What's everybody having for dinner tonight? I got my wife one of those grilled steak burritos from Taco Bell. She can reheat in the air fryer. She loves those. And please don't forget, I'll have a premiere on, just to let you know, on the premiere that's coming up Sunday night, I'm doing the ribs in the crock pot. That was one of the recipes where I started changing my filming, the way I film things and how I do my scenes. There are some issues with it. Just please, that's not as polished as I would like it to be, but I'm gonna release it because I wanna be authentic. I speak a couple times and I forgot to go back and overwrite it where I said something wrong. You'll know what I'm talking about when I say something because I literally took something, put it in there and called it something else, but you're gonna know that. So it's, you know, this community understands that, you know, like I said, I did that one about a month ago. So it's been about a month before I did those ribs, when I did those ribs. So it's a recipe I did a while ago. And then that comes out Sunday. So just know that going in, it's not gonna be super polished. There's gonna be some mistakes in it. I know everybody won't mind. It's still a delicious recipe. I'm doing them again here soon. I have puff pastry. My wife brought home puff pastry the other day on her way home. She got some at the store. So tonight I have pizza sauce. I'm shredding up some mozzarella here shortly. I have a little bit of pepperoni left. And I'm doing, I've watched Natty do the flatbread pizzas. She's been doing that, look really good. And then I did that one day, and then then after I watched hers, I watched another one that said flatbread pizza, so I did it. And then I saw that one, and then I saw one of the other videos below it, it said puff pastry pizza. So I watched that. So I'm doing a puff pastry pizza tonight. I'll get a picture of it if it comes out good, and I'll put it on a community post to show. And then if it works out good, I'll do that one of these days, either on a live or I'll do a video about it. And what I do is, some people call it a granny slice, some people call it a tomato slice, some people call it an upside down slice. In upstate New York, the restaurants that had it called it Cobb pizza. It's cheese on bottom, Cobb. So what they do is they par bake the dough a little bit, then they put the cheese all over the top, put it back in, melt the cheese, take it out, then they put the sauce all over the top, put it back in. So it comes out, the sauce is on top. They are really good like that. So I'm doing it tonight, that version. So I'm doing it the Cobb version, the granny slice, the upside down, whatever. But I'm gonna do that. I'll try to post a picture if it comes out good. It's gonna be half cheese, half pepperoni. You won't see that because it's gonna be under the sauce. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so Natty's gonna make another one here soon. Have Fun in Nature, I think, is gonna do some more canning. Yeah, I gotta get my canning stuff going because I have all the jars now. My wife gets them from that auction site. They're brand new. They've been returned from like Amazon or something. Nothing wrong with them. She's checked them before she brings them home. So I have about, I think what I count, 76, 86 back there of the 1 pint canning jars. She gets them for like $2 or $3 a box. So we have about, you know, maybe some she gets for $1. So we probably got $150, $200 worth of jars back there. But usually you go to a store now, they're like $10 to $15 for a dozen or something like that. So. Oh, Down the Road, thank you. I appreciate that, thank you very much. Down the Road, guys, if you ever watch Down the Road, he does a lot from his camper. He does some stuff out by the river. He does a lot of times. And then he has Bigfoot on quite often. Him and Bigfoot go roundabout and do their talk and stuff. Have Fun in Nature. No, I haven't. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get one off that website where it's right down the road from her. It's a auction site. We did have one. We got it for $20. It was one of the electric ones. So it was the pressure canner. You didn't have to put it on the stove. It had the heater inside, and you could take it outside, plug it in. You could can outside if you wanted or whatever. And when we got it here, it had the handles on it, those composite handles. One was broken off a little bit, which would have been fine because it didn't hurt anything. It just, the handle was half gone. Oh wow, $18 for 12 quarts. Yeah, we've been getting them for about $2 for a box. She's been getting them from that website. No rubber seal and rubber seal. Just remember, if you're not getting a new rubber seal. Yeah, this one came, it was brand new. I can't remember if it had the rubber seal or not or what it was. But it was a pressure canner, and then it had all the directions in it. But what happened was, the reason it got returned is it must have got hit during shipping or something, and the round top, it got bent just enough that you couldn't get the top off. The top was locked on. And I'm like, well, I could take it in the shop and put some wood on it and clamp it and try to bend it, but then if I shear it off or something, I can't get my money back. So I'm like, no, because if I break it now, we can't return it. So once I get that, we're going to do canning in the spring, because I'm going to do a bunch of, because my mom used to do it, my grandmother used to do it, my mother-in-law used to do it. And what we want to do is we'll do some not dry runs, we'll actually can, but I'll get some potatoes from the store, I'll get some carrots from the store, and then what I'll do is I'll can those. And they're a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of hot work, but the plus side is it's your food. There's no engineering into it. Nobody's toyed with your food. It's out of your garden. You've been there the whole process. You know it's clean. You know it's good food, so on and so forth. I want to can. I don't know if it's possible. I got to look into it, but I would love to can some greens. I know you can freeze them and stuff, but I would love to can some like turnip greens and collard greens and things like that. Yeah. A lot of people, if you've noticed the swing, a lot of people the last few years, especially maybe the last decade, are starting to swing back to, I think they're starting to realize what's going on and sourcing food and everything, and to get their own garden back up and running, even if it's just supplementing what you buy. The less processed stuff, the better. So if you can grow, I always say that's why I mainly grow potatoes and green beans. I grow a lot of other stuff, but that's just through the summer for salads and to roast some veggies and stuff. The stuff that I would survive on is green beans and potatoes. So if you have a plot of garden that's only 10 by 10, stuff it full of green beans. Try, if you're in a southern environment, try to get 2 growings. Try to get 200 pints stored away. Then you have enough pints for green beans every couple meals. You can put in some kind of a dish. And it's just one less thing you gotta buy, and it's one less thing that you have to worry about that's been messed with as far as food source. Hey, Life with Jen, how you doing? So that's just my opinion. But if you have a 10 by 10 section, if you don't have a 10 by 10 section, if you just have a small front yard, pole beans, okay? Set up a fence 20 feet long, or 2 little fences 20 feet long. Put some chicken wire down. And then just plant 50 or 60 seeds up and down. One side, then have another piece of fence, another side. They take up no room. They grow straight up. You can just mow around them, weed around them. They don't, you don't have to have an acre of lawn. I gotta find the channel. It's a young couple with kids. They have a couple kids, and they have a little homestead, and I think they're off-grid, and they grow all the food they need on a portion of their acreage is a 1/4 acre. And so they make this 1/4 acre garden, and they do the sister planting, companion planting, whatever. And the way they plant, and the things that they work together really well, and they get successful harvests that allow them to pretty much are self-sufficient for vegetables on a quarter acre with a couple kids. So it can be done, but that's why I say if you're trying to get your own food source for you that you want to grow, instead of growing 10 different things that you can't can or store and you eat and then you're through in the summer, you're done, do potatoes. If you have 10 by 10, 10 by 20, grow as many potatoes as possible and store the potatoes. Now you have all these potatoes, you have enough to get you through 6-8 months or whatever. And instead of, I did some radishes, but now they're all gone. And then I did a couple green beans, they're all gone. Figure out what you can do and maximize so you have something you can put away, in my opinion. Yes, Granny, I've seen that book. That book is huge. I know what you're talking about. If you're looking for that, if you're trying to find a book like Granny's talking about, if you have an antique store, go to your antique store before you buy an expensive one online. If you go to the antique stores, the antique store I go to, she has books for 25 cents a piece. Cookbooks, 75 cents a piece. So I've seen those books in there for canning, for making jams, all that kind of stuff, preserving food. And it's all relevant. It's the same concept that's been handed down for generations. But Granny, I got to check that out. Dry can method. I'm writing this down, Granny. Hold on. I'm going to check that out. Did you do a video on that, Granny? Oh, hey, Van Girl Cheryl. Wait a second. I thought I gave you guys Van Girl Cheryl and Desert Living. I thought I gave you one. Oh, I'm sorry. I just took it away now. I did it wrong. Boom, sorry. Now you're a moderator, and Desert Living, you have a blue wrench. So just when you make another comment, it should come up. Uh-oh, somebody got deleted. Somebody was bad. Okay, Granny, I'm going to look up some videos after this. I'm going to definitely check that out. If anybody's going live tonight, please feel free to put it here. Also, you can check my, I re-upped it to the top, kind of. So if you want to see who's live every day of the week at what time, I just added Granny today. So she's on there, I think for Tuesday nights, 8 p.m., I think, Eastern Standard Time. She's on that list now. Send it. I'll get you on the list. It's growing. This community grows. It's growing. And all you got to do is click on the blue link, and it'll show you everybody. And then I think you can click right on their channel, and it takes you right to them. So if it's Wednesday night, just scroll down to Wednesday, find who you want, click on it. It'll take you right to their page. So, yeah, Whack-A-Troll, yeah. So Van Girl, I saw Van Girl. I watch, it's Bob Wells, I believe is his name. He does cheap RV living. I know anybody RVers here probably know him. He does a lot out in the Quartzsite, Arizona. And she was on his channel a couple weeks ago. It could have been longer. I don't know when he filmed it and when he ran it, but when I saw it was a couple weeks ago. And I watch him often. And I really liked her setup on her, the way she lives in her van. The nomadic lifestyle some of these people do is quite awesome. They really build these things out. Some of them, there's this one guy, he's a carpenter, and his stuff, it looks like your house. It's just beautiful. He had reclaimed wood, and Bob showed it the one day. But they're all suited. I mean, they just dress those things right out. They're all set. Some of them just have a composting toilet, so they don't have to mess with black water, gray water. But they can go out to the BLM land, the Bureau of Land Management out in Arizona, Colorado, and they can stay for months at a time for a couple $100s. They don't have to pay a rental fee at a RV joint. They go hang out at those places, and a bunch of them go, and they get set around everywhere, and some of them become friends. A lot of them have YouTube channels. And then this Bob Wells, when they do these events, he goes and he interviews them, and it's really, really cool. And that's where I met Van Girl Cheryl. And I hooked up to her channel. We've done some shout outs, and then she followed me back. I think I followed her first. Doesn't matter. Got a really cool channel. Nice lady. And I still go in and I check out some other ones that follow her, and you can go into comments and see who else. And the ones that intrigue me, I do follow. But his name is Bob Wells, and it's Cheap RV Living. If you want to see that kind of living and how these people do it, it's crazy. Some of these vans, they'll get this old 1985 Dodge van that's just been somebody's garage, runs great, 70,000 miles. They'll rebuild the inside and they travel in that. It's got a really good engine in it. The transmission's fine. It has low mileage for that year. It was stored. It was owned by somebody. They just stored it up and just sat in the garage. So they restored it, rebuilt out the inside, and it's beautiful. For a Sunday live discussion. Yeah, there you go. And you know what? Have fun in nature. If you're going to do that, do it. And then one of these days, see if Van Girl Cheryl or one of those other people want to come on. And then you can actually, because I know you guys have traveled, and then to have somebody else on and talk about it, it's really cool, because I would love to do it part-time. That's one of my thoughts. I'm hoping some property, if I get out in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma, about an hour and a half kind of northwest of me, some property is fairly cheap per acre. So I can get a few acres in the middle of nowhere. Is what I really want to do that when I get retired, because I want to get a Starlink and I want to get a cheap camper, and it may never happen, and buy a chunk of land up there. And then what I would do is I would put a roof over, I'd put posts in the ground. I'd go out where there's no zoning, because you're out in the middle of the country, out of these counties way out in the middle of nowhere, and put a camper out there, so it's going to have AC and everything. I want to get one of those the solar charging units that can plug everything in, so I can bring it back home with me. Get some of the 200-watt traveling panels, and then I can go up there on the weekend. And then there's a couple of areas I'm looking at that have farms and ranches around them, and I always loved working on farms. I don't mind shoveling pig manure. I don't mind throwing hay. I love doing that stuff. And I would love to get connected to some of the farmers up there, where if they have a couple ponds or near a lake or lake frontage, if they would let me fish and stuff, I would actually come up and help them during the days when I'm up there, repair fence or rake or cut wood or whatever. And then just to get access to stuff and kind of, become friends with them and stuff. There you go, Granny. Yep. Well, what I want to do is I want to get some heavy-duty 6x6s, put them in the ground, and build a roof over the camper, and then insulate that, because in Oklahoma, you get the 105-degree heat. This will insulate the cover over the top of the camper, and it won't have any leaks. That'll keep it cooler, and then I'll have that unit, the chargeable unit there and I'd only be going up on weekends. But the weekends I just want to get away, and then what I want to do is I could do videos up there, because I would have a Starlink. And then I could literally do lives where I'm driving up there. I would love to even get it to the point where when you get in a wet season where you can have bonfires, there's people around me that have YouTube channels. You could do a YouTube live with a couple people from there and do an outdoor barbecue at this campsite. And if they wanted to pull in with stuff, or some of these other guys that do camping wanted to come in, show up, and if they're going through town, they could show up on my property, and we just everybody gets set up and around, and we could eat and drink and have fun, and somebody plays guitar, blah, blah, blah. But that's a few years away, because I'm not retired yet. But yeah, Van Girl Cheryl, if she's tooling around Oklahoma someday and she found out I had a camp, my wife and I could be up there. She could pull in. We could get Bob Wells. He could come in. A couple other people I'm tied in with through the nomadic lifestyle, and some like Wendy and some other people here that are in Oklahoma that have homesteads. I'd really think that's pretty cool, but that could just be a dream. It might not happen. Probably won't happen, but most important is to make sure Okies Eden's up and running, strong, get my merchandise set up, get my garden growing, and get my farm stand going next year so people can get fresh vegetables that are around us without having to drive to the store. They're going to get a cheaper price. They're going to get real organic food, and they're only going to have to drive a mile to get it. your trailer and yacht. Well, you're not going to want to put your yacht in any of the water down here. So, well, Lake Murray you could do. Lake Murray is nice. If you've ever been to Lake Murray in southern Oklahoma, Lake Murray is beautiful. Last year, I surprised my wife for her birthday. We've never had jet skis. Her and her family used to have a boat, and they used to water ski, and they were really good at it. And she's always wanted to jet ski. So last year during her birthday, I set it up. I got it all prepared, and then surprised her and said, "Hey, we're going to go up to Lake Murray Saturday for dinner and stuff." And then that morning, I'm like, "Well, we got to wear our suits and stuff because we're going to be jet skiing for an hour or two." And I'd already called ahead, had them all. Hey, Hobo, hideaway. I had them reserved, so we had 2 jet skis reserved, and we got to ride for an hour or 2 on jet skis all over, driving over each other's wake and doing little jumps. Oh, it was a blast. She loved it. I mean, she had the time of her life. Then we went and got pizza at the restaurant there at the place, walked around, sat on the beach in the sun for a little bit, then came home. But yeah, it was a really good birthday for her. Because I'd never been in a jet ski either, and they are fun. Man, they're fun. They can be dangerous too. You got to be careful. Because yeah, they are fun. I'll tell you what. You could do all sorts. Once you figure out how you can stop really quick, and when you stop and then start, the water comes up over the front. And because the day we went, it was like almost 100 degrees. And if you know Lake Murray's a really pretty lake. It's kind of a bluish water. It looks more like ocean but it's a small lake, but it's beautiful. And if you did it right, you got going, stopped, and then took off full speed, you'd get the water to come up over the front, and it would come all over the top of you. So if you were getting hot for a while, to cool off, you would do that real quick, and you get all wet, and then you could ride around. When you got hot, you did it again. But yeah, I would fish off it. I would definitely fish off it. But anyways, those are the big things. I did my shopping today. Doctors went well. Everything went well. My grandson had his doctor's appointment, so now they got him set back up for his physical therapy. They had to get him approved for that, through insurances and all that. So they got that for him today. So next week we can start his physical therapy up again, get him back in working mode again, feeling better. Getting merchandise set up that I can display here in hopefully a week or 2. Got some other merchandise I can send to people as little surprises, so on and so forth. So with that said, I got to get my pizzas going. The whatever I told you guys I was making, the pizza, the crust I bought. So everybody have a good night. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting me. Appreciate it. Go check out some of the ones, if you hadn't checked them, that got the blue wrenches. Thank you, Granny. Go check out Broke But Bountifully Blessed. If you don't follow her, we got her over 1,000, I believe. So she's on her way. So hopefully we keep supporting each other. Hopefully this community keeps growing. Thursday night, I'm not sure who's on tonight. Go check out my community post. It'll show you who's on tonight for lives if you want to go support. You guys all take care. Be here Tuesday for Strings and Pucks and myself for our little collaboration we're doing Tuesday afternoon. I'll do another community post as we get closer, and I'm assuming he's going to hopefully put it on his channel announcing it. With that said, everybody have a good night. Be safe in the storm. Stay warm. Be ready. Stay inside. Take care.